Welcome back, Squirrel Nation. Today we're going to cover the recent Valor Series North American Finals between Tribe Gaming and Allegiance. This game ends up having some very good points, but in the draft phase, the interesting thing is that both teams opt to go for poke compositions, and they actually don't even bother banding assassins because I think they both just understand each other's playstyles and preferences. So they actually start by banding good poke composition heroes. Tribe takes Liliana and Marja off the board. Marja is a very good side laner for a poke comp because she has great disengage and great wave clear, so she can build a lot of pressure on the map. Liliana is just an outstanding mage in a poke comp for the AoE and then the ability to also dive in as an assassin in her fox form. Whereas Legions decides to take Lindis and Valheim, two really good marksmen, Valheim being a good side lane in the poke comp, and Lindis a great jungler in a poke composition. So that leaves open Ignis as one of the very, very powerful, considered OP mage. So Tribe secures him right away as their first pick. Following this up, like I said, they want to build poke comp, so I love the net lock in the Roxy by ALG. Roxy is a side laner who basically wins most side lane matchups. She could have a problem with Val, but they already banded Val, so I think that that was a strategic thing by ALG, is they kind of knew they would be giving up Ignis, but they also wanted to set up their side lane so that they would win, so they banned the Val and then take the Roxy, who's not going to lose to any of the other side laners. Annette is also a great pickup because, as we've seen in some of the past videos, Annette is very, very strong in poke compositions because she can zone out assassins. Having said that, I think ALG could have taken a different support because of the fact that both teams are going for a poke composition. Annette loses some value. I think ALG could have actually got more value out of maybe a Pura or maybe even an Alice or something that can just help position in team fights. But anyways, after that, Tribe picks up Mina and Violet. Violet outstanding. They're getting that really strong poke damage, late game power burst, which is good. Another thing, Mina, I kind of feel the same way about Annette. Mina's good in a poke comp because she can peel, but when it's a poke composition versus a poke composition, you don't need that same amount of peeling. Also, poke compositions tend to be spread out, so Mina's going to have a hard time getting those high-value pull and ults. But anyways, the next bans, we see more side laners taken off the board by ALG. They take away Omen, they take away the Kilgraw. So I really like this by ALG because they have basically put Tribe in a hard spot when it comes to the side lanes. I think they kind of know that they're going to lose mid lane against the Ignis, so they decided to put a lot of emphasis on side lanes. I think this is a smart choice in poke composition teams because a big part of poke composition is creating map pressure. The team with the better side lanes is going to create more map pressure, and I think that's what ALG sees in this, and they push that. The bans for Tribe were Jinnar, which, I mean, I guess it's okay. I'm not really sure why they would ban him. I don't think ALG ever was going to take him. I would have preferred if they would have banded Raz. The reason why is Jinnar doesn't really fit in a poke composition as well, but I think the reason they might have is because at this time ALG could have actually went into maybe more of a death ball with the Zenial. But at the same time, I don't think they would have gone into a type of death ball dive-in type of composition because of the net, so there's some definitely games happening. But anyways, so Tribe ends up picking up Scud and Wonder Woman, and ALG will finish off their comp by picking up a Slims for the jungle. So both teams end up with good side laners and just an overall good poke composition. Out of the pick ban, I honestly don't really give either team that much of an advantage. I would slightly lean towards Allegiance because they did get the Roxy Zenial. And I think they're going to do very well on the side lanes compared. But anyways, with that, let's dive into the gameplay. So I jumped ahead to 13-minute mark. You see Tribe Gaming is significantly ahead, about 11,000 gold. They have every single of Allegiance's towers except the high ground towers, and they've only lost one of their own towers. For the remainder of this video, I'm going to be focusing on how to close out games when you are very far ahead. So in this game, Tribe does actually end up losing, which is shocking if you look at how far ahead they currently are. The reason that they lose, in my opinion, is that they fail to make use of map pressure. They have a huge lead, and they should keep all the waves pushed in, consistently keep pressure on ALG, and basically just wait until they make a mistake and then capitalize upon it. And I think they failed to do that in this game, and it is what allows ALG to come back into this game and eventually win. So anyways, for the remainder, let's just kind of watch this and see what I mean by map pressure. If you look right now, bot lane is about at the midpoint, right? Allegiance is pushing out their lanes in the top and the middle, and they're just kind of staying together, trying not to get caught, and farming away, right? Because another thing to consider is they are significantly behind. I mean, Tribe's Violet is super fed, max level, max build. She's absolutely melting people, if you notice. But if you see, Tribe just has this kind of passive feel to them. They let themselves get split up, and which led to Wonder Woman getting caught out by Roxy, and ALG gets that kill. And this is kind of where the game starts flowing in Allegiance's favor. And as we watch this, notice how passive and how hesitant Tribe is. What I would love to see from Tribe in the future that I think would have allowed them to easily close this game would have been push the lanes and then set up ambushes in the jungle so that when Allegiance has to rotate between the lanes to clear the minion waves, right? So what you need to do is set up ambushes in the jungle to catch them when they rotate. If you notice right now, the top lane is actually pushed all the way to Tribe's tower, and Wonder Woman's having to go clear that. That should never happen when your team is 10,000 gold ahead, right? And these are the things, and you see, like, Wonder Woman was clearing that lane, and now Scud went over there. So you can just kind of see, to me, this is poor communication, poor teamwork going on, especially at the pro level. If we were watching this and this is a solo queue game, I would have nothing to say. These type of things happen all the time in solo queue. But we're talking about the second best team in North America right now, and the rotations are just not as crisp as they need to be. So, anyways, you see Violet is kind of wandering around. She is trying to clear waves. They spend a lot of time just kind of sitting in bushes and not really doing much, right? So, like, their team is sitting here. Scud is pushing a lane, right? But at the same time, that bottom lane is not even pushed. It's basically the halfway point, right? So I think where they failed is they have side laners that can push very quickly in Scud and Wonder Woman, right? And they have this Mina who can be setting up ambushes and vision in the jungle and helping them be safe about the rotations and also help them catch people. Like, if you notice there, Sleepy just walked into a jungle bush, he face-checked it, and, you know, what if they would have been standing there for an ambush? So anyways, I think they do realize that, and they do try to use this, keep a lot of pressure on ALG. Scud is pushing up the lanes are starting to push up, and now they're taking this position. Another thing here, this is a minor thing, well, this actually I think becomes a significant thing, is Mina is sitting back and not really making space for Violet. They're letting Violet take a lot of damage when she's chipping at the enemies. And then here, to me, this was a huge mistake by them, is they just go all in on this tower, right? And they just go too far, right? You have a Violet who could just keep chunking away at towers. You are a poke composition, be patient. But you can kind of tell that they're getting frustrated. They're kind of worrying in their head, I almost guarantee, about throwing the game, and that causes them to end up throwing because they didn't have the patience, right? They're still 7k ahead, and ALG right now is going to win. They're about to take both the mid towers and take the core. So this is a very rare type of game where a team that has significant kill lead, significant gold lead, actually loses the game. And I think the reason why is because the Tribe got frustrated and they lost sight of their win condition. Their win condition was poke, meaning just do little chip damage to heroes, do little chip damage to towers, and gradually win. But they tried to dive in to get a high ground tower because they were getting frustrated, and it cost them the game. Anyways, if you like today's content, please like and subscribe, and I will see you all tomorrow. Take care.